Yo, welcome to Wednesday on Golden State Boulevard. We have new videos for you more or less every day of the week, so definitely tune in for those. The topic this week is marriage. I take the topic to mean that we're supposed to discuss marriage as an institution in general, our opinion about said institution, and whether or not marriage is something we're interested in, possibly talking a little bit about the concept of gay marriage and what that means and whether that's detrimental or good, or more or less just our opinion about marriage as a whole. Personally, I'm of the opinion that a person should have the option to either get married to or form a civil partnership with whomever it is that they love. And I just really feel like, as many other people do, that that's not really anybody else's business. You're the only person who really has a right to determine what your marriage is going to be like, or your civil partnership is going to be like. And I make a distinction there because I do know that for a lot of people, religion plays a huge role in the concept of marriage and the construct of marriage. And historically speaking, marriage was very, very much a religious event, and still is, for the most part. And a lot of the connotations that go along with marriage are, to a certain degree, unsavory for a lot of people. And so the concept of a civil partnership is something that I think is very revolutionary. I think it's extremely great that we have that option. And I'm hoping that that will go a lot further, and that will become, I don't want to say, like, I think that they'll ultimately, oh yes, both of these things will become, highly normalized or anything like that, but I think that there should be more than one option for how to gain, of course, the legal rights that coincide with either being legally married or in a civil partnership. I do want to get married if I am ever in a position where I would be forming some sort of legal love bond, I guess you could call it, with someone. And the reason why I personally would choose to get married over forming a civil partnership is just because the matrimonial ceremony really appeals to me, and it's something that I've always dreamed about doing if I was ever to enter that kind of a relationship with someone. And so I personally would go and get married versus forming a civil partnership, although I obviously do think that in both situations the legal rights should be the same, and whether you're two men and two women, or a man and a woman, or if you're trans, or if you're gender nonconforming in some other way, whatever part of the spectrum you fall on gender-wise, I don't think that that should affect the legal rights that you get when you get married or form a legal civil partnership. I think that that's really the bottom line to me, is because for me, marriage doesn't necessarily, it means something different to me than all of the legality and all of that. To me, it's a special moment where it's, even though you've already been with this person, presumably for quite some time, and you already know how you feel about each other, it's just this manifestation and celebration of your love for each other. And I think that's really beautiful because, and I'm not saying that if you get married in a court or if you just form a civil partnership, it's not a celebration of your love. I just really like the aesthetic of how a wedding celebrates love, and that's why I would choose to do that over a civil partnership. And of course, everybody's concept of like the difference between a civil partnership and a marriage is going to be slightly different. I'm not really sure, as far as terminology is concerned, what legally the difference is, if there is a difference legally, but just the concept of getting married is something that I find really exciting and really beautiful, and something that I would definitely want to do. The concept of gay marriage, I'll touch on this ever so briefly because I think that the concept of gay marriage, and I think it's been said to death, but I just think that you should just knock that off and just call it marriage or call it a civil partnership. You don't really need to differentiate between a heterosexual marriage and a homosexual marriage. I just really don't see the need to marginalize it that way, because if the legal rights are the same in both cases, there is, in the eyes of the law, no difference between the two marriages, insofar as I understand it. So calling it gay marriage just doesn't seem necessary, I guess. I don't know, it just seems unnecessary to say so, because you don't say a heterosexual marriage, you just say, yeah, they're married. You wouldn't say, oh yeah, they're gay married. Like, that implies that there's somehow some sort of a difference, and I really just don't feel like there is. And that's more or less all I really have to say about that. I think we should just let that word, as a catchphrase, just float away. Until I see you guys next Wednesday, stay safe, stay happy, and stay strong. Catch you later. So.